But you have fathers out here that, number one, love their children, are with their children 24/7 at times, or maybe every weekend. Point is, they're in their children's lives. And because maybe they don't have the superior job, you know, that's making $26 an hour or 21 or 22, you know, we are labeled as deadbeats. I disagree with that 100%. I get my children every weekend. I bring them fishing. I talk to them. I spend more time with my children than anything in the world. But yet, the court system doesn't understand that. When they go home to their beautiful homes and their driveways and their nice cars that they're paying a healthy note on. But I'm going home to a block where there's drugs, murder, corruption, and all types of illegal things that can land us as Black and Latino Americans in jail. I think that if they want to label me and other fathers that are doing the best we can as deadbeats, then maybe you should help us. You know, instead of getting money for a damn bridge or you know, make more jobs for these fathers that you're labeling and that you're criticizing. Okay, give us jobs. Okay, so that way you don't have to talk to us like we're nothing when we're standing in front of you because you're on your high pulpit. Okay, you wasn't always there. Okay, you had to work to get there. So the opportunity that you got to get there, give it to us. And that's one of the main problems that I have, man. And I'll tell that to any judge, any president, any mayor. I'm telling you, I don't care. It ain't nothing. You know, I think that they should make it more available. You know, I'm tired of when I go into a warehouse or a major business corporation and I take the time to fill out your damn application, which is a book. Okay? You give me a test, I pass your test. You ask me this, you ask me that. I answer everything, and then you look at me in my face and you tell me we're not hiring. Why the hell did you waste my time? I could have saved all that penmanship for something else. You know? Don't waste people's time. Help people before you label them.
Well, let me ask you a question. Certain jobs require certain qualifications. Do you feel like you are underqualified, equally qualified, or do you feel like that you're being stereotyped because of your lack of qualifications?
Okay, that's another good question. I am qualified. I know how to fix cars. I can fix homes. I do all kinds of things. I'm a universal brother. Whatever it needs to be done, I can do it. Now, when I go into your schools and your trade schools and I tell these people that, I gotta fill out more paperwork. And more paperwork. Then they want to look me up. Okay, you look me up, everything's cool. But then you look at me and you say, well, it will cost this. I don't got no money. That's why I'm here. I'm telling you I'm good with my hands and everything. Help me. Don't ask me for something that I don't have. You understand? Don't put me through that. You playing a mind game. What does that do? Boom. Piss me off. Make me turn my back. Now I'm going to the block. Now, as soon as I get on the block, there's a smoker saying, give me 10. Now, I'm thinking about, okay, I could go to jail if I give her 10. But wait a minute, an hour ago, this man just told me he wasn't hiring, but made me fill out a whole booklet of an application. I got 10 for you.
I got 10 for you.
And that's how it goes. It's not meant, I don't think nobody wakes up and says, man, I just want to sell drugs today. Man, I feel like I just want to go and do that. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, we wake up. Your kids might say, Daddy, can you take me to the store? Now you tap in your pockets like, man, you don't want to tell her no? What you gonna do? I gotta do something to survive.
Okay.
If you're not gonna help me, don't hinder me.
Okay, let me ask you one more question. I want to ask you, okay, so do you feel though there's a lack of opportunities, and with more opportunities, there will be less incarcerated fellas, brothers and sisters in the system?
Of course. They thought they was doing something by giving us a black president. He ain't do shit. He ain't do nothing. All they doing is blaming him for everything. I ain't seen that man do nothing yet. He got a Nobel Peace Prize. For what? You didn't do nothing. I still don't got no job. My homies still don't got no jobs. When I'm standing in front of that judge, I can't say, well, man, wait a minute, Your Honor. Obama said he's going to pass the bill. I'm going to get a job. No. I'm going to have to do 90 days, a year. They don't care. It's
Alright, my name is Brittany Torrens. I'm with Philly Streets Talk right now. They're going to ask me some questions, so I'm going to express myself.
Okay, let's start with racism. You said you had some things to elaborate on racism. How do you feel about racism currently, today?
Racism, right now for me, there's no point to it. Okay, if I get called a cracker, yeah, it's hurtful, but you see other white people calling other white people crackers. Now you see other black people calling other black people niggas. It's the same for everybody. Now let me tell you something. If you go cut somebody open, it's the same inside. We're all red, we're all veined up and everything. The same heart's pumping, maybe a little bit different because there is some people that do different stuff, different kinds of drugs and whatever, but it's all the same. If you look at it with the color of your skin, you're not going to get nowhere in life, and that's just how it is. People who are racist really don't need to be racist. Like, if a Puerto Rican calls another Puerto Rican a spick, it's okay, but if a white person goes and calls a Puerto Rican a spick, the white person will get shot. That's wrong. If you don't want to be called a spick, don't call nobody a spick.
Well, have you experienced unfairness when it comes to racism by somebody that you had an altercation or just somebody you ran into?
Yes, I actually had. It was a black female. Not too long ago, I was walking by. She called me a cracker. Like, okay, I'm white, but do I look like a cracker? Do I look like I came out of a damn Ritz box? No. Okay, the color of my skin shouldn't matter to nobody. Like everybody around us, we're all different colors, we're all gonna be different colors. That's not our fault, that's the way he wanted us. That's pretty much all I had to say about that.
So what could you say to the person, and what would you like to say to the person that said this to you?
I'm not gonna be disrespectful to her. I never was, I never will be. It's stupid. If you're gonna be racist, then be racist, but don't do it out in the open. If you're gonna call somebody a cracker, do it in your head. Because if you look at yourself, cut off your skin a little bit, you're gonna be all muscle, all veins, nothing else.
Yo, this the boy Reap, aka Repercussions, North Philly Badlands. You know how we get it done. We out here right now, y'all I mean, falling back, y'all I mean, getting this paper, y'all I mean, demolition records all day, every day.
What we gonna do? We're gonna start with the Philadelphia Police Department. What's your take on them?
Well, I feel like what they do is, like, if they see you chilling, they think you automatically doing something. So they jump out on you and harass you for no reason. And then, y'all I mean, when you try to get smart with them, them niggas want to lock you up for making their mistake when they jumping out on us for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? And then when we do got something on us, you know what I mean? They either lock you up for like a nick of weed, like come on now. But next month it's gonna be gravy because if they catch you with less than 30 grand, they're gonna write you a ticket. Over 30 grand, they're gonna lock you up. So I'm not worried about it because fuck it, I blow a tree every day. I'll blow a tree in front of a cop any day. I'm North Philly, raised in North Philly, but I'm from the South Bronx all day. You know what I mean? I'm out here to get this paper, get my label off the ground, so when y'all niggas see me next time, we're gonna be flashing stacks in front of you. You can see the pockets is full, my man's pockets is full, it's whatever. Y'all want problems, come see me. We down here, right now. We out here on D and Indy, between D and Indy and then Clearfield. You know what I mean? We out here getting this paper, man. All y'all plug-ass, broke-ass niggas, come holla at me. I give y'all a job. It's your boy Reap. Holla at me.
You got money.
You know what I mean? It ain't about nothing. It's not about nothing. No is out. No is out. This is what we do. This is what we do. You know what I mean? It's not about nothing. And this is pocket change to us. So, you know what I mean? This is pocket change to us. Holla at us. Demolition Records, baby.
Okay, we're gonna move it on along, and we're gonna talk about racism today. What you think about racism? You think it's going on?
I think
my son's half black. I'm
Yeah.
white. My son's half black.
And look, my son is half white. So I look at it like, as long as the girl's pretty, she could be fucking half green and half purple. As she's banging, I'ma marry her. Racism, that's that back in the day shit. Like that 80s shit when we used to go through it with McVeigh and all of them. Yeah, but that shit, you know what I mean? Even though, like, if a nigga call me a spick, that's just words to me. Like, if I'm in a bad mood, then I'm gonna fight. But if you call me a spick, it's alright, dog. Because you ain't seeing the money that I'm getting, so you can call me anything you want.
Do you think that there's a lot of racism here in Kensington? We're in Kensington right now, so do you think racism exists here? Is it bad or?
I think when it comes to racism, it's the cops. The cops are racism with the white people around here because they know that they're coming down here to buy drugs. So, but it's not true. Not every white person around here is coming around here to buy drugs.
Right.
But they're gonna jump out on majority of the white boys that they think they're gonna buy drugs, which is that's not cool because there's white people that live in this neighborhood. Back in like the 90s, this was all white neighborhood. And now, you know what I mean, they didn't search them back then. Now that it got totally different, they want to jump out on all the white boys. Like my man right here, if he was solo, they jump out on him every time. But when he's with me, they don't jump out on him. Like, it's the cop that's racism because they know that white people is going to come down here to buy drugs.
Okay.
And they don't understand that there's white people that live in this neighborhood that don't buy drugs and try to stop the drugs. Like on the next block, there's Time Watch white boys that, you know, go around and snitch on people. And they some fucking snitches, but they white boys and they still be getting searched. And they the ones that be snitching. And it's like the cops are racist against their own against the white people because they think they're going to buy drugs at Somerset.
That's probably just here in Kensington, though.
Yeah,
and
just
what's
in
interesting
Kensington.
is it sounds like the racial profiling here is almost backwards because in many places, you know, they
On
be
the
racial
streets, cool.
profiling black
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So here in Kensington, you figure
it's
they.
the white people they
Oh,
think
that's
racial
interesting.
profiling.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Down here, but on the streets, it's cool. Everybody's cool on the streets.
What's your name, sir?
Weezy.
Give us your full name if you don't mind.
I got it.
It's all right.
Wayne.
It's all right.
First name's Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wayne,
Weezy.
well, I want you to tell me your take on the Philadelphia Police Department. How you feel about them?
I mean, all the search and harass people for no reason is a bunch of bullshit. I mean, you got some cool cops, but a lot of them dickheads. So I got stopped the other day. You have to go for a warrant. You know, so some cops are cool, most of them dickheads though. They jump out on you for no reason. Down here, they pull you over if you're driving, search your car, won't check your ID, won't check nothing. Search if you got drugs, let you go. You know, I'm down here doing other stuff. I come down here and chill. I'm down here right now looking for a car. You know what I mean? So, it's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Okay, so have you had any run-ins with the justice system? How have they treated you? Are they fair?
I mean, somewhat. Right now, they locked me up for a nickel weed. I got a warrant out for my arrest for a nickel weed because I didn't do community service. I wanted to pay the fine, they gave me community service. So community service.
So what do you think about that new law that they introduced where they're going to start simply admitting fines if it's under, you know, if it's just a little bit of pot?
That's what they said. I could do a fine, but they gave me community service instead. So
Okay.
I didn't do it.
So you think that new law is good? Where they're just going to give fines?
The one to kind of come out with, but if you got less than a certain amount, yeah, that'd be good.
All right, let's move it along. Let's talk about the new president, Obama. What do you think about him?
I mean, he trying to bring the troops home, so that's all that matters.
Right.
And then, I mean, he trying to get the economy back up, jobs. He trying to get jobs back up, everybody insurance. So, I mean, I like him as president. He's one of the best we had so far.
All right, right. So now, how long you been in these streets?
I'm 28, so I've been running the streets since I was like 12. Started selling shit like 14, down in Frankfurt and shit down here.
So roughly about 16 years, huh? You live in Philadelphia all your life?
Yep, born and raised.
Okay. What part of Philly were you born in?
North Philly.
North?
I was born down in 2nd Tioga, moved down to 2nd Phillip, next block over, 6th and Erie, Frankfurt. Now I'm in the Northeast.
Okay, now we were speaking about racism earlier. You being white, do you feel like you've been accepted and welcomed here? Have they treated you right here in Kensington?
I mean, As far as the streets go, yeah. As far as the streets go, yeah. I talk to everybody. I'm cool with everybody out here. Cops.
Okay. So the police harass you a lot. Huh.
I got a pocket full of money. I'm down here looking to buy a car. I'm not down here selling drugs or buying drugs. You know what I mean? We got a car pocket. The fuck they jump out and search me for? And if they search me, I'm going to jail for a warrant. Why? You gonna stop me? So what?
So, do you feel like what are the job opportunities out here? Do you feel like employment is good or bad?
I mean, well, the stuff I do, I drive tractor trailers, forklifts, shit like that. I can get a job. I just ain't going to once I'm going to do next week. So, as far as employment goes, it's going back up. A lot of people are starting to hire again. So, as long as you have to do good trades.
Yeah, this your boy Reap, aka Repercussions.
And Wheezy.
Yeah, we out here with Philly Street Talk, you know what I mean, getting that money, you know what I mean. Shouts out to Philly Street Talk, shouts out to Demolition Records, shouts out to Armadale Records, shouts out to all my niggas in North Philly getting that paper, South Philly, West Philly, Southwest Philly. We all doing it big, you know what I mean? You wanna get that paper, Philly's where's it at, you know what I mean? We out here all day, every day. If it's problems, come holler at us. But you know what I mean, you know how we play. We don't talk about it.
How you doing? My name is Christopher Washington from North Philly, Badlands, 316. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm out here fishing. Life's good, but it wasn't so good when I was coming up because there wasn't nothing to do then and it ain't nothing to do now. Maybe that's why the youth is where they at today. I think if we had more activities in our neighborhood, more real funding without politics putting their hands in the cookie jars and saying famous slogans for votes, I believe that they should give back to the community. If not, you're going to see the community turn into a war zone. It don't happen only here, it happens across the globe. Years ago, they turned our mint, our gold worth into U.S. currency. And they said it had a certain value. America has lost its value, and today I can tell you that the U.S. dollar has lost its value as well. Nobody values anything anymore. 1960, 1950, women wore dresses down to their ankles. They looked classy, had their hairs done, and they looked appropriate for their gentlemen as husbands who worked every day because they had jobs that would actually help them. I believe since the Great Depression, America has gone down. We've sold our name out to foreign countries to make all our products, to buy all of their crude oil instead of producing jobs here in America. We produce vehicles, toothbrushes, everything down to our socks, and everything is made in China and Korea. If you want the streets to be better, I say keep the jobs here. It don't take a college degree to make underwear.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. We just spoke with your brother, and right now in the United States, quote unquote, all over the world is having experienced the recession. What do you feel about the recession?
I feel that any time a gallon of gas is more than a gallon of milk that we actually put in our bodies to digest, is flabbergasting. It's outrageous, and it's a smack to the American people. We stand higher for higher standards, higher goals. I believe Barack Obama did a good job. I believe that the job that he's doing is being tarnished by Republican parties who still play the same political games. These games alter the White House, the Senate, and Congress. If you have parties that don't agree, then you can't come to an agreement. As simple as that. If you send your jobs to other countries, they build the products and send them back. There is no money here. You have guys that don't want to do things the illegal way and live life on the crime side of things, have good standards and morals. I've seen good men go to the streets. I've seen good females go to the streets because the streets is paying. It may not be paying off, but it's paying. This is a big game. You catch a few people at the airports with some bricks of crack cocaine, you put them on television, you make a few bucks, you make television shows. But I believe it's brought in on a higher level. We're talking 100 metric tons because there ain't no gun shops that produce automatic weapons such as AK-47s in America. They're either Russian or they're German. They're being put on our streets. These guns are being put on our streets. They say they fight gun laws. They want gun laws to pass. They want to fight crime and break violence down on the streets. But I beg to differ because I've seen guns that only the U.S. military is supposed to have on the streets of Philadelphia. And I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody going to stop them shells from flying. These guns can go 300 and 400 yards with no problem and still pack a punch. It'll go through your wall, his wall, and the neighbors too. I just believe that if you treat the hood better and turn it into a neighborhood instead of a hood, then we will find something else to follow. These kids need activity, they need education, they need federal funding. If you don't give it up, and you keep saying you're going to give it up, it's the same song and dance. I mean, I've watched the bills be passed. I've watched the bills be fought in Congress, and I've watched Obama fight an uphill battle. It's not just a one-man game. America must pull together. Back in 1964, people marched. 63. They marched for what was right. If something wasn't right in our government, which is our government, they may say they packed a punch and call the orders, but it is the people who pay the government. And if we don't forget that, we can change something.
Okay. Okay. I want to ask you a question. If you were elected, let's say that you had the chance to become one of the powerful leaders in this country, what do you feel though you would do to change things?
The first thing I would do is clean up Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill has some, for instance, some white water issues going on up there. People take cutbacks. People take money and bribes and buy their way into these Senate seats. These people look good on television. They have great plans, models, and slogans. But when they get into office, they don't produce a quarter of what they said they would. If I was the president or anything close or remote to that, I'd start by cleaning up Congress, the Senate, Capitol Hill, and Washington, D.C. There's things in there that are still going on, like Richard Nixon. So we can't go nowhere. If you're telling us don't touch the stove, it's hot, don't put your hand on it, and then we touch it and get burned. That's what it was. But you're saying don't touch it and you're holding the flame. Put your flame out and we'll put ours down.
My name's Jesse Edwards. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I've been to Boston, New York, Tennessee, Texas. I've been all over the U.S. and it's the same everywhere. I'm now in Philadelphia, and that's my background.
Okay. So how do you like Philadelphia?
It's all right. It's not as good as where I grew up because I grew up in a rural area and not a city. So I'm not used to city life. I'm not used to how it works yet. But it's all right. I mean,
what are some of the distinct differences between the life you had and this life here?
The fact that I don't have to walk 5 miles to the nearest store. I mean, that and where I lived in Cape Cod, I had a backyard that was full of grass, a front yard, 2 side yards. I mean, I could walk around the street without getting jumped or shot at. I mean, here, Boston and New York, where I've been, it's you can't walk down the street without anybody saying something. I mean, where I grew up, that never happened. Yeah, you had fights, but you don't hear about somebody dying every other day.
Let's get a contrast on the racism from where you were to here in this city. Do you think that it was alive there as it is here?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's the same everywhere. No matter where you go, you're gonna have racism.
What about drugs?
It's honestly, it's worse in the rural areas because the cops don't do much about it. Because they're busy doing their own thing. A lot of the time you'll see the cops at a donut shop and there's somebody on the corner smoking weed or doing crack and the cops just turn the other way.
So what do you think the cops should do?
Get off their ass and arrest people. I mean, honestly.
Okay, do you feel like they're targeting the minority or just targeting the less fortunate people in the community?
They aren't targeting single races. They're targeting the people who look the most suspicious. Like, even I get targeted, and I'm a nice guy. I don't talk rude to people. I don't threaten people. And I don't do any drugs, but I get targeted because the way I look.
Problema, chilena, cuchillo, pistola. Andamos en la calle rompiendo popola. Problema, chilena, cuchillo, pistola. Andamos en la calle rompiendo popola. Problema, chilena, cuchillo, pistola. ¿Qué pasa con nosotros? Te jodemos la caja de bola. Problema, chilena, cuchillo, pistola. A cualquier hora te puede llegar tu hora.
Le comentan que las 3
letras se pusieron pa' mí. Si no le llega manito, todo hablando del FBI. Me enseñan el chota y me montó. Que se confundió, par de tiros le di. Después le dije me confundí. Vete al paso, que donde quiera tenemos contacto, aunque sean más que nosotros. No pueden con ese flaco. Nos llamó a mi gente para no buscar un gato. Armas de fuego se encuentra. Robo y asesinato, capo. Estamos rateando sus pasos.
Asesinato, lambones. Buscando el caso de armas de fuego, secuestro, robo y asesinato. Yo. Filadelfia, Nuera, Palomo, vete tortuga por el brillo de mi cora, la muera. Yo, this nigga tripping. They tripping, man. The
Vámonos en serio.
You know.
En serio, ya.
Yo, niggas, you know this shit, nigga, this was running in Philadelphia. You know shit.
Háblele en inglés.
Spanish, oye, en español y en inglés, ratatá, delguero.
Oye, slow. Esto se llama slow, yo. Es mejor que lo coja slow. O te sacamos de circulación. Aquí también tenemos flow. Loco con el blon, loco con el ron. Es mejor que lo coja slow. O te sacamos de circulación. Aquí también tenemos flow. Loco con el ron, loco con el blon.
Todo el mundo en el bajo mundo sabe que soy delincuente.
Que soy bico de la mente y siempre ando con una bricha.
Y tengo dicha porque en el precinto
nunca he tenido ficha.
Conchete y el monstruo.
Buscando un par de montras.
Un par de monstruos en la cintura.
Para que se nos vaya en contra. Canchacia, yo tan loco.
Compliquémosle lo que hay.
En esta vuelta se poncharon antes del primer strike.
Siempre estoy ocupado.
Avísame y lo cojo libre.
Aquí tenemos todas
de todos los calibres. Yo caliento a tu mujer
como si fuera un jengibre.
Y a ti te mando un par de locos en capucha. Con un delibre. Ellos sueñan con llegarnos.
Sueñan con gitanos.
Y ellos se van cada vez que nosotros llegamos intanos. Diablo, que bacano. Canchas y el soberano. Y a ustedes por su ano. Oye, que lo que a ustedes por su ano. Ey, es mejor que lo coja slow. O te sacamos de circulación. Aquí también tenemos flow. Loco con el ron, loco con el sueno nítido. Funcionó sin químico, ácido. Ellos tan falta de soportes líricos. Un maldito psíquico.
Sabía de este éxito.
No les respondo porque lo que me tiran es básico. De este tema coge de consejo el título. Para no amarrarte y meterte en el baúl de un vehículo. Voy para la calle, me defiende la for y me cubre el jury. Enemigo con mi canción en los archivos de su computer. Forman grupos que se formen, nunca estarán conformes. Siempre estarán por debajo de mí y de soberano hecatombe. Ya.
Esto es una orden, de tu boca saca mi nombre, mientras yo saco mujeres del club para hacer desorden.
Soberano.